Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I am his Chris. This is Andrew, the Boxing Brain. And
hello.
Today's topic, we're doing a post-fight review on Sonny Edwards and Gala Yafai fight. It was a sad fight to watch, man. But firstly, we're going to show you a clip after the first round. Everyone's seen it, but we're going to show you a clip of this, and then we're going to show you what Sonny said when he reacted to watching this clip. Right, let me video.
Right, standing too close to him, lad. Standing too close. Have you got it in your legs to keep moving? Man, no. I'm going to be real quick. I don't want to be. Don't be stupid, lad. Don't stop. Listen, stop feeling sorry for yourself right now. Stop feeling sorry for yourself because you've had one bad round. Bite down on your gum shield. I saw you.
Okay. Where are you? And then, and now we're going to show you Sonny actually watching this video and reacting to it when he's getting interviewed by, I think it's Boxing King Media. Yeah. Okay.
Fucking hell, that many views, yeah? Chris is sick, man. And I weren't feeling sorry for myself. I'm glad Chris read me the right act like that, but it weren't that. It was more just, I'm here and I don't feel the same that I did. I don't feel the same that I did. And knowing that and accepting that is fucking hard, man.
You've been around boxing a long time, so you know firsthand for Chris to say that. Because that was his moment, because he told me a couple of days ago he was nervous because his first big night, you know, training you in a big high profile fight, a lot of pressure around it. So for him to kind of not freeze in that moment, that must have been quite important.
Don't get me wrong, I told pretty much everyone in direct contact with my camp and my build up of this fight that win, lose or draw, I was retiring in the ring.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow. Well, that confirmed. I didn't actually see that, Chris. So thanks for bringing that up, because I've sort of been in and out today, so I'd missed that bit of reaction. So good work on getting that. And yeah, because we were going to do another video, and then I just to let people know, I text Chris this morning. I said we might want to cover this because it was just a strange, interesting interest, because we don't always cover every fight, and we like Sonny, but it was just very interesting, all of that, both those elements. And I was going to say he's already answered my question, because one of the topics I was going to bring up was I felt that I would be surprised, even at 28, because he's only 28, he's been a world champion, tried to unify against Bam. I think that took a lot of his soul away. I didn't feel like we would see him in a ring again after that. I just psychologically, for me, look, that was it. And he just confirmed it. Win, lose or draw, he was retiring. But I'm not sure I buy that, because if he'd have won, he was going to retire on a win against really? I don't know. What do you make of that? What do you make of it?
If he's saying that he's told all his people who are directly close to him that he's retiring, like maybe, I don't know, maybe he's just, because you know it happens, like people just don't like training camp anymore. Because in that interview, obviously, I didn't want to watch the whole one. I watched quite a bit of it. He said he doesn't like the process anymore.
Yeah.
training camp, and his style, box and move, he can't. He just doesn't want to do that anymore, and he doesn't hit hard enough to stand in there and have a tear up with people. He doesn't, so he has to box and move, and the process going through camp, and then getting in the ring and boxing and moving and doing all that. Like he just wants to get in there and have a fight, and he isn't, and he don't hit it out hard enough for that kind of style.
He's had a lot of camps, Chris, as well. Like the last few years, he's had a lot of camps. And no, you're right. I don't know. I think the Bam defeat. He's been a world champion. You know, he's a big personality. He does a lot of. I see him on a lot of the big shows, giving his insight.
He's a
Maybe
great
pundit
pundit.
is the way to go for
He's a
him.
great pundit, I'll tell you that.
Commentating. Yeah, like he's articulate. He speaks well. Does he want to keep? He doesn't want to box and move any more, and that requires a lot of energy. We know that, but also getting punched in the face a lot requires a lot of energy. And he was being punched in the face a lot, as you just see on the marks on his face. But you know, maybe he wants to keep all his mental faculties together at this stage in his life, have a family, and I don't know if he's got a family already. You know, there's all sorts of things in there that could be in his mind. He's obviously stepped in the ring, just hasn't got the heart for it, just hasn't got the stomach for it. And people are going to analyse it, all us sort of guys are going to analyse it, but it's like, I suppose sometimes in a relationship after 10 years, you're not feeling it anymore, and there's no rhyme or reason to it, Chris. It's just being a human being, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes you just wake up and you just think, oh, can't be bothered anymore. Like I
Enough.
don't want this anymore. But another thing I'd like to say, he was a world champion, and he was very, very good. Like a lot of his fights, he won unanimously, and people didn't like his style and stuff. He was very underappreciated. He was as a boxer, as a world champion, and I met, like he says it doesn't bother him, but he's a human being. It's got to bother him at some stage, no matter. And he was very underappreciated. Like I remember one time he was in America, they were fucking booing him, and he was absolutely wiping the floor with their fighter.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Like, and even in England, like he wasn't getting the love. It's like when Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, everyone slated him. Like, what the fuck was that? Like
the style,
the style. Like everyone, people forget that as well because of his new style. But everyone slated Fury. Like they were laughing at him. Like, is that doing James Brown impression around the ring? Like, is that how you win?
Can't really win, Chris, can you? Because look, you're right. In the Wilder fights, I mean, maybe it was just the style. He'd realised, I think, that was a style he needed to employ against Wilder, planting his feet more and all the rest of it. But you kind of entertain more, and then you get knocked out, and people write you off, or whatever, or you take a lot of damage and get hurt.
Yeah.
You kind of have an effective style, and I'll use Sky Nicholson because obviously she gets a lot of slack for her style, but it's effective. Floyd Money Mayweather era, you know, very effective, shoulder rolling, all the defensive, but very effective. You can't really win. You do that, and you know, people think you're stinking the place out. You get a bit more aggressive. You start obviously you're going to take more shots if you're more aggressive. It is what it is. People start slagging you off that you defended. You can't really win.
Boxing's a fickle game. Like I do like boxers. I do like to watch the sweet science sometimes. But sometimes it's not for me. But I like it when they're doing the sweet science, but they're active and they're busy, you know?
Like Bivol. Dimitri Bivol's a good example. He's very one of the best sweet sciences. There's a term, sweet sciences, around ever, probably I'd say. But is picks his moments, you know, and is active when he needs to be active, and I find him quite entertaining to watch. So, as you say, depends on the fighter, because some fighters, I don't know what it is, like some fighters who adopt that more caution before anything else, and it's hard to watch. So it's depends on the fighter sometimes.
I like watching Jack Catterall.
Yeah, same. You know, I'm a massive fan.
But a lot of people do not like watching his fights.
Actually, he's a perfect example. I'm glad he's a perfect example. I see everybody slagging off his style. But me and Chris here at Boxing Bros, we find him really good to watch. Like I've bigged him up loads of times, breaking his down. Like I love his work. So there you go, Chris. Do you know what I mean?
And he gets knocked down. So he hits out like I like this. It's just one of them. And I just think Sonny Edwards, I liked his fights. He used to showboat, hardly used to get hit. He used to win every round nearly. He used to do well, and he was very underappreciated.
Do you know, he reminded me of? He reminds me a little bit of Billy Joe Saunders, like back in. He's got that sort of, cheeky, got the gob, got a bit of mouth, likes to move, likes to box, has got good eye. He's kind of that sort of style of boxer, isn't he?
Yeah,
but he wasn't. Sure. He wasn't last night. I don't know what that was. He weren't moving.
He said his strategy. He said his strategy was for Gala Yafai to get tired, and then he was going to roll over him.
Didn't happen, mate. Fuck it. I'll tell you what, Gilfy. I can't. Hopefully, I've got his name right. Bloody hell! I don't know if he was on the pre-workouts and the bloody creatine and I don't know what, but man, right from the off, he was putting hands on Sonny Edwards and would not leave him alone, and it just went round after round after round. I couldn't believe it. He was relentless, to be fair.
The thing is, it was working. It was working through his punches.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And Sonny Edwards isn't a guy that can stay in the pocket and fight like that. He uses his legs.
Yeah.
And he weren't using his legs. I don't know if he couldn't use his legs or because his trainer was like, "What's wrong with you? Can't you use your legs?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to."
Use your hands and fight with your legs, as some people say in boxing, because if you've got to be whether you're Beterbiev that needs to cut the ring off, or more of a Sonny Edwards and Billy Joe Saunders that needs to kind of use the ring size to kind of work the ring. But there were times, did you notice as well, Chris, that he was trying to load up on big shots because I think he was desperate and he was trying to get his opponent's respect and couldn't get any. And that was 90% for me watching it. The problem is that he couldn't get his opponent's respect. And it was what it was.
Like Gala Yafai would come in, he'd be tagging him all over, pressure.
Yeah.
Then he'd land a counter and he'd just bounce off him and then he'd just carry on fucking steaming into him. Do you know what I mean?
He was poor. Fucking hell.
No effect whatsoever. None.
It was I know everyone's going to be focusing on Sonny, and maybe we'll get some comments about whatever about Sonny. But to be fair, Gilfy, sorry if I'm murdering his name, by the way. That was a tremendous performance, I thought, from start to finish. I thought he was absolutely terrific. But I think this is the difference ultimately between someone who's really hungry and got a lot of ambition in there and was tunnel vision and focus, and another guy who wasn't. And I think that was almost a lot of what happened in there, is that mentally they were both in completely different places. And in sport, at high level sport, Chris, as you know, the mental side of it is 50-60% of it, probably, maybe even more.
It's like
you could be in the best physical condition ever, but if you're not right up here,
I think it's in a Rocky movie. Like, you play tennis, you play football, you don't play with boxing. You don't. It's not a game. It's very very serious. If you're not 100% up here, you're fucked. You're gonna get your head taken off. Like, boxing's not a game.
And he took an awful lot of punishment, didn't he, Chris? Wow.
Oh, for sure.
Like, fair play to him. Like, he didn't. The ref had to save him. And what I wanted to get onto, my kind of next topic to get feedback from you. The corner advice is going to split opinion. I didn't mind it because I think, look, he knows him, and Sonny obviously said in that bit there he didn't mind it. I didn't mind it because I understand what he was trying to do, and he knows his fighter. They know each other well. I know he's changed train. I think they changed trainers, didn't they,
This was his
over the
first
last
fight
few
with
years?
this guy. This is his first fight and first camp with this trainer.
Yeah. So I don't know how much. It's a bit nuanced. I don't know how much they knew each other, but he was trying to get a reaction from him. But a lot of people I know for a fact are going to go, oh, I already saw in some comments, the corner should have pulled him out right there and then he mentally weren't in it. So where do you stand, Chris? Do you think the corner did the right thing, or do you think they should have taken him out before the ref did? What do you think?
I think that the corner did the right thing, trying to keep him motivated, trying to keep him fighting, because he was fighting back. It's not like he was just standing
Yeah.
there. He was swinging. He was landing his counters. He was defending, and he was trying to have a tear up with him. But the
Yeah.
punches just were having no effect. He was trying, and obviously, when someone's in there still, they've always got a puncher's chance. He's got like
Yeah.
a minuscule puncher's chance because he doesn't have much power, but he was still swinging, and he is a world
Yeah.
champion. And as a coach, it's like he wasn't. He was taking a beating, but he didn't get knocked down, did he? He didn't get knocked down once.
No.
Didn't
No.
get dropped
Do you
or
know?
anything, and he was
I
fighting
don't know
back.
where I stand on this actually. You've got a clear stance, which is why I wanted to ask it. I kind of thought, because you very rarely sit on the fence, so I knew you'd have.
Yeah,
I knew you'd have.
one way or the
I might have to get splinters in my arse on this one,
other.
because I'm genuinely like not sure if it was the right call or not, because a part of me thinks what mentally he clearly was just not going to find anything. Maybe give him another round and then maybe go throw the towel in, or retire him, you
Yeah,
know, on the stall. And then another part of me is like, well, he was still there. His feet were still there. He was still throwing, as you say, and the corner wanted to try and psychologically get him back in there
building back up.
and have a bit of pride. So I'm kind of I'm right smack bang in the middle of this one, Chris. I
As
can't give an
well,
answer. I'm not sure.
like at the end of the day, Edwards is a fighter, and if he quit in that fight, that would have hurt his
Mm.
pride. It would have hurt his pride. So
No,
it's
that's
better.
a really good comment, because yeah, and you know how boxing works. He'd
Yeah,
have probably got slated for that.
he would have had to come back out of retirement again just to redeem himself.
Yeah, so that's a good point. That's a really, really good point to make.
Like
That,
for
yeah,
me,
you got to take that into account. But interesting, and I suppose the last thing I wanted to bring up, unless you had some sort of other thoughts, was Eddie Hearn having a little bit of a continuing run of bad luck with his stable of fighters, other than Boots and Bam recently.
yeah.
He's not having the best of times of it at the end of this
No,
year as we come into Christmas, Chris.
I think Gala Yafai is an Eddie Hearn fighter. I'm not too
Yeah,
sure. Any comments?
yeah,
Please let us know. But I'm pretty sure he's a matchroom fighter. So let's hope that he can kick on now and
yeah.
do something in that division. Now Sonny
Mm,
Edwards is retired, and I think we'll finish it there then. Just
yeah,
want to say, really well done to Sonny Edwards, Coach Chris, and Sonny Edwards. I always liked your fights, and I always thought he was a great champion. And if you do find your warrior spirit again and want to come back, would love to tune in. Yeah,
yeah. And I
respect.
just want to say, yeah, similar sentiments to you. I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for the kind of lovable rogues, the Billy Joe sausages, as I call him, the Sonny Edwards. Also, your good mate Ted Cheeseman. You know, those
Yeah,
kind of guys. So yeah, you know, whatever he goes on to do, or if he gets a massive payday in a couple of years to come back out of retirement, good luck to you. You know, no shame. At the end of the day, we're all human. You know, he was suffering in there. He still tried. I'm not going to criticise a fighter
no.
for trying. And mentally he wasn't there, but he was still trying. So fair play to him.
Swung it out to the end. He swung it out to the end. Boxing
Yeah,
Bros UK, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.
please. Ta.